Welcome to the final Comet Tales for the 2024-2025 season. Today, we'll be reviewing the final 5 games of the season, including our run at the Alaska State Tournament, a recap of our channel's growth and how we brought the game day production to you, and for the first time, the players have something to say directly to you. Our first game today is from March 1st, when the Grommets took on the Comets 14U girls squad at the Dempsey. Here are the highlights. Yari wins the opening faceoff back to Tatum along the wall. She passes up the far wall to Colby, who centers back to Yari, who sends a one-timer to the back of the net, and the Grommets are on the board after only 15 seconds. Jeremy steals the puck inside our offensive zone. He turns and passes to Oscar, who takes a couple of steps to the slot and lifts a shot into the upper corner for the Grommets' second goal. Tatum begins to charge up ice from deep in the defensive zone. She passes forward to Sophia behind the defense. She gets tripped but takes a diving wrist shot that sneaks inside the post. Into the second period, Bennett skates the puck out of the corner to the slot and lifts a wrist shot over the goalie's shoulder and into the net for the Grommets' fourth goal of the game. Hunter collects a loose puck in neutral ice, turns toward the near boards and lights the Jets. He lifts a shot from the circle that goes over the goalie, scoring the Grommets' fifth goal of the game. Into the third period, and the 14s lose the puck in their defensive zone. Colby collects and lifts a shot that finds the back of the net, and the Grommets have their sixth goal of the game. The 14s again fail to clear their zone as Sophia intercepts the clearance. She passes to Bennett in the circle, who centers to Nathan in the slot, who redirects the puck past the goalie for Grommet goal number 7. Yari picks the pocket of a charging 14. Jeremy collects the loose puck and re-enters the attacking zone, skating down the slot. He lifts a wrister over the outstretched glove and stretches the net to put the snowman on the board for the Grommets. Face-off in the 14's defensive end, Shorty wins the draw back to Tyler, who takes 2 steps to his left and fires a wrister over the goalie's stick, scoring another one for the Grommets. The final horn mercifully sounds on this one, with the Grommets walking away with a 9-0 win over the Comets' U14 girls squad. The Comets opened the Alaska State Tournament on March 7th with a morning game played at the Icebox in Kenai against the team from Homer. Our first game against this team since they knocked us out of Winterfest in the shootout. Here's what happened in the rematch. Early in the first, Homer intercepts a puck along the wall. They work behind the Comets' net, center to a player charging the net who one-times a shot from the top of the crease to put the Glacier Kings on the board. Homer jumps on a loose puck in their D zone and quickly moves up the ice. Just inside the blue line, he lifts a knuckled shot that bounces into the net, putting the Glacier Kings up 2-0 early in the first period. Minutes later, the Comets answer back. Shorty comes out of the corner with the puck and drives the net. Shooting from under the goal line, his shot rebounds into the crease where Bennett pokes it into the net, putting the Comets on the board. Still in the first period, and the Comets on the power play. Jackson collects a loose puck in the Comets' defensive zone, skates behind the net to the near corner, and passes out to Hunter, who exits the zone moving up ice. A quick move to the right, and he drops the final defender. Hunter lifts a wrister from the high slot to level this game at 2 goals apiece. Late in the first period, and the Comets go on the power play once again. The Glacier Kings fail to clear their zone as Hunter holds the zone and passes to a wide-open Benjamin, who rips a one-timer from just inside the blue line to give their Comets the first lead of this game at 3-2. First minute of the second period, Bennett collects a loose puck looped behind the Glacier Kings net. He passes out to Nathan in the high slot, who rips an elevated wrister that deflects down off the Glacier Kings stick and puts the Comets' 4th goal on the board. Into the third period, the Comets interrupt a zone clearance at the blue line, pushing the puck deeper, but Homer tries to clear again. This time, Colby intercepts and moves to the high slot, fires a wrister past the netminder to push the Comets' lead out to 5-2. The Comets tightened the defense for the remainder of the third period, and after scoring 5 straight goals, close out Game 1 of the 2025 Alaska State Tournament by the final score of 5-2. Later that afternoon, the Comets continued with Alaska State Tournament group play with a game against the Eagle River Mustangs, again in Kenai at the Icebox. Here are all the highlights. Colby holds the zone for the Comets. He drives the puck deep where Tatum fights for possession. She wraps around the net, but her shot is blocked, and the rebound comes back to her, and she buries her next shot to open up the scoring for the Comets. Comets on the penalty kill. Griffin intercepts a Mustang's pass and passes back to Jeremy. He charges shorthanded up the near side, cuts through the circle to the high slot, and fires a wrister past the goalie to score the shorty for the Comets' second goal of the game. Nathan takes a shot from the top of the circle. The rebound bounces out to Bennett, who turns and fires a wrister, netting the Comets' third goal. Eagle River takes a shot from just inside the blue line that goes wide but bounces directly to an unmarked Mustang. He shoots from in close, but Connor flashes the leather to make the glove save, preserving the shutout. The Comets hold the zone and pass forward to Tatum. She takes a wrist shot from outside the circle that rebounds off the goaltender, but over the line to push the Comets' lead to 4. Hunter passes the puck out of the corner, out to the point to Jackson. His shot from the point deflects off a Mustang stick to Nathan in the slot, who turns and buries his shot to score the Comets' 5th goal. Hunter separates player from puck under the Comets' goal line. Bennett collects and charges up ice with a full head of steam. In the circle, he slams on the brakes and, moving between two defenders, slams home his shot from the low slot, bringing up the Comets' 6th goal of the game. Colby fights for possession in the neutral zone. He drives into the zone and fires a backhand that goes 5-hole, and the Comets are now up by 7. Sophia's shot from outside the circle rebounds into the corner where Blake takes possession. She skates behind the net and lofts a shot from the edge of the circle that goes over the goaltender's shoulder to put the Snowman on the board. The Comets lose possession in the attacking zone. The Mustangs get behind the Comets' defense, but Connor makes a save but spills the puck out front. A second shot is saved off the blocker, and a third goes off his shoulder to preserve the shutout. Nathan takes a pass from the corner and turns up ice. He toe drags around the final defender and launches a wrister that sneaks inside the post for the Comets' 9th goal of the game. The Comets close out this game and preserve the shutout to win Game 2 of the Alaska State Tournament by the final score of 9-0. The next morning, the Comets would face off once again against the Delta Huskies. This time, we moved indoors to the more civilized environs of the Soldotna Sports Complex. First minute of the first period, Delta collects a loose puck in the neutral zone. He weaves around the defense and scores from the bottom of the circle to open the scoring for the Huskies. The Comets have the puck stolen while attempting to clear their zone. Delta recovers and moves up the near wall. They center to an unmarked player who lifts a wrist shot into the back of the net to take a 2-goal lead. Face-off in the Comets' offensive zone. Jackson wins the draw back to Bennett, who skates toward the slot. Drop pass to Benjamin, who one-times a shot past the tender to put the Comets on the board. Closing seconds of the second period, and the Comets on the penalty kill. The Huskies intercept a centering pass and charge up ice. He gets around the lone defenseman and gets off a shot from the edge of the circle, and Connor stones him to keep it a 1-goal game. Into the third period, and the Comets again on the penalty kill. The Huskies recover the puck at the near wall and feed to a wide-open player in the left circle. He lofts a floater into the back of the net to push their lead to 2. The Comets answer right back. Jackson holds the zone and passes forward to Hunter, whose shot is blocked out front but rebounds back to him. His second shot bounces off the post and across the face of the goal to Nathan, who jams it home to bring the Comets to within 1 goal. Delta collects the puck behind their net and starts up ice. One pass to the neutral zone and they are attacking the Comets' defense. They weave to the slot and get off an elevated shot that goes over the shoulder to push their lead back to 2 goals. 5 minutes remaining and Delta gets a breakaway while shorthanded. The Comets stop the break with an intentional tripping penalty that results in the Huskies being awarded a penalty shot. The shooter breaks left, then right down the slot. In close, he goes left and has the puck in the net before the goalie could react, making the score 5-2. Closing seconds of the third period, Delta gets a shot from the left circle that rebounds to an unmarked player on the right who wristed it into the open net for the Huskies' 6th goal of the game. The final seconds tick off the clock as the game ends with the Comets dropping this one by the score of 6-2. The Comets qualified for the stepladder by finishing second in the conference with 2 wins. They will now face off against the third-place finisher in the other conference, Hockey Club Fairbanks, in an afternoon quarterfinal matchup in Soldotna. Here are the highlights. Early in the first period, Fairbanks digs the puck out of the corner and centers to an unmarked player in the slot. His wrist shot finds the back of the net for the opening goal of the game. The very next shift, Jeremy pokes the puck away from Fairbanks in the neutral zone. The player retaliates by throwing an elbow to the back of Jeremy's head, driving him into the boards at an awkward angle. Jeremy would slowly make his way back to the bench while the referees discussed the severity of the penalty. Initially, a 2 and a 5 were called, but after reconsideration of the head contact rule, the call was changed to a 2 and a 10 game misconduct. And for the second year in a row, we would see an opposing player take the skate of shame back to the locker room after injuring his opponent. Sadly, Jeremy's game was done, as he would depart the arena shortly after play resumed to seek medical attention. Early in the second period, Fairbanks makes a clearance pass from deep in their zone. They charge up the right side, then cut across the face of the goal and slot a backhanded shot into the far side of the net to double the lead. Benjamin is fighting for possession in the right corner. He fights out into the circle, then backhands a pass to Sophia. She one-times a shot that beats the goaltender to cut the lead in half. Into the third period, Fairbanks intercepts a Comets shot and charges up ice. Griffin forces the player out to the circle where he gets a seeing eye shot that finds a crack in the pads and just trickles over the line 5-hole to make the score 3-1. The Comets tried everything they could to cut the deficit late in this game, but the Fairbanks defense was just too much. Time ran out on this game, this tournament, and the season as the Comets dropped the state quarterfinal matchup 3-1. All season long, our play-by-play announcers and I have been the voice of the team, whether through the play-by-play call you hear during the games or my later highlight descriptions you hear right here during Comet Tales. What you haven't heard is the players directly talking to you. While the team was in Soldotna during the state tournament, I asked the entire team if they had any personal messages they would like to express as the season drew to a close. Nearly all of them had something to say, so I set up some studio lights and turned on the camera. Here's what they had to say, in their own words.
I'm Connor Dickey, number 1, the goaltender. And I want to thank Vicinity for, for just sponsoring us, getting us to do all the fun stuff we did in Colorado, getting us to play in all these tournaments, because the tournaments are not cheap. And I just want to overall just thank Vicinity for letting us do all the extra stuff and fun stuff that we've had all season.
My name is Hunter Brown. I'm number 2 on the Comets, and I would like to thank my mom for paying lots of money just for me to play hockey.
Hi, my name is Sophia Bronson, and my number is 10, and I would like to thank my whole family and my coaches for supporting me.
Hello, my name is Garrett. My number is 11. I want to thank all the coaches and staff for making this possible. I also want to thank my parents for shocking me to hockey every day and taking me to all these wonderful tournaments.
Okay. Hi, my name is Blake Bolito. I'm number 12, and I'd like to thank my family and Miss Amy and Miss Deanna, I think, yeah. And I'd like to also thank my best friends because they supported me, and yeah.
My name is Ben Bienvenu. I'm number 14, and I just want to thank my mom for starting me in hockey. She's the one who got me started. All my friends, all of them who've been saying good job. My entire family who's been giving me support. Entire AHA community, Coach Gastrock, Coach Whittle, and Coach Dickey. I want to thank them. I want to thank Amy. I want to thank Dean, and I want to thank everybody that has ever gotten me support. I want to thank Miss Jen. I want to thank everybody that has ever been to a game. I want to thank my grandmas, all of them. I want to thank. I just want to be here. It's glad to be here at state. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad to have the support that I do have.
My name is Yari Hodis. I'm number 17, and I want to thank my mom and my dad for paying for everything. I want to thank the other parents for picking me up if my parents couldn't, and I want to thank the coaches for just making me better, and then I also want to thank our sponsors for also helping pay for our trips.
Hi, I'm Jackson Gifford, number 20. I just wanted to thank my parents for driving me to every practice and every game. Also, I would like to thank my coaches for making me a better player and a better person. And also, I'd like to thank our sponsors for paying for every tournament and every.
Hey, I'm Comets-Gastrock. I'm number 23, and I really want to thank my parents, Coach Dad, and all the other coaches who have helped me through my hockey journey. And I'd also really like to thank my sponsors and all the others like Vicinity who have helped so much.
Hi, I'm Oscar Nelson. I'm number 24 on the Comets. I would like to thank my mom and dad for driving me to practice every single time we had it.
Hi, my name is Tatum Zlakowski. I'm number 27, and I just want to thank my parents for driving me to hockey every single day. It really means a lot to me.
My name is Jeremy Whittle, and I am number 29. I would like to thank my grandparents and my family for taking me to practice when my mom and dad were busy with a tournament or a different game. And I would also want to thank all the sponsors that we have, such as Cruise, Vicinity. Those are some of the high dollar ones, and some of the low dollar ones are very important too.
My name is Griffin Noni. My number is 33, and I would want to thank my parents and my Uncle Wayne because he sponsored us, gave us a lot of money.
When I started broadcasting Comets hockey last year, I came in with the vision of how to make something like youth hockey appear bigger, and that was Comet Tales, a way to distill up to 10 hours of games into something around a half an hour. I started out with what I had, a gaming headset with microphone, and a less than basic understanding of how the recording software worked. We had a desire to add a scoreboard to the screen and had to figure out how to do that. We wanted to move from Facebook to a bit of more public platform in YouTube, so we had to figure out all the behind-the-scenes controls that go along with managing a YouTube channel. I started the background work for this season the day after last season ended. Team logos had to be created and entered for use on the scoreboard, YouTube thumbnails, and Comet Tales game cards. The game cards are the first image of every game highlight package, and both the thumbnail and game card let you know who's playing and what colored jerseys they're wearing. So I had to prepare 2 of each. I had to prepare them for every team we might play. Most of them you've seen, some you haven't. I have graphics prepared for each of the 9 other teams entered into the Colorado Slapshot tournament. I only used graphics for 5 of the 9 teams, but without knowing what other teams I needed, I had to prepare for them all. Over last summer, I researched the camera I would need and the computer that could handle live streaming. The first camera I bought turned out to severely under-deliver the quality of the video and had to be replaced before the season even started. Sound quality problems plagued me early in the season. I tried to connect 2 Bluetooth microphones to have 2 people talking about the live game, but OBS Studio did not like having 2 Bluetooth microphones attached and would cross the signals or just ignore both of them. I dropped back down to 1 active microphone and it's worked much better. I've improved the quality of the sound from both microphones, the Bluetooth, and the shotgun microphone mounted to the camera by adding filters to them to help block out background noise and bring the play-by-play voice to the forefront. I've improved my recording studio here with the addition of camera lights mounted to a homemade lighting gantry on my desk and the addition of better quality microphone to use for all the highlight voiceovers and the headshots used throughout Comet Tales episodes. But of all the things I've done to improve the broadcast on the hardware side would be for nothing without the talented play-by-play voices you've heard throughout the year. I'd like to take a moment now to recognize them here for you and thank them for coming out to almost every game here in Alaska and even on the road trip to Colorado. Jen Gastrock has been the primary voice of the team all year long. Her hockey experience has been a fantastic addition to the team. When Jen was unavailable, Cameron Gifford and Amy Whittle both stepped in on numerous occasions to call the action for you. And finally, there was one game during Winterfest where no one was available to describe the game, and I was resigned to just providing minimal calls during the game breaks when Hunter Short stepped in and called the last 2 periods of one game. The live game call would be a mess without the contributions of these 4 talented volunteers. I would like to thank you, all of you, for donating your time and effort. That's going to wrap it up for this month's edition of Comet Tales and this season of Comets Hockey. For the first year 12Us, I wish you good luck next season as you continue your 12U adventure. For the second year 12Us, I look forward to seeing many of you next season in 14th. Everybody have a great summer, recharge, be ready to come back in the fall and hit it at full speed. Remember, keep your head up and your stick down. We have all 4 game highlights here, starting with the afternoon game opener versus the juvie-bound. The shooter collects his own shot behind the net and wraps the puck around the post and in to tie the
action. The first big change, one which you've already found, is the move to YouTube as our streaming platform. We made this move because
Part 3, take 3, Clip 12. With a win in the quarterfinal game, the Comets now faced off against the Junior Avalanche. The Avs on an odd man rush. They get behind the Comets' defense. Let's redo it. I lost the freaking text. Comet Tales. Up next, the season-ending state. The Avs on an odd man rush and get behind the Comets' defense. They could. And then in March, Comets will make an appearance in the season-ending Alaska State Youth Hockey Tournament being held down on the Kenai. Damn it.